Hey everyone, get ready to dive into a story that changed the world forever. This isn't just any story, it's a profound journey of discovery that can illuminate our own lives even today. What if I told you that understanding this, one person's life could unlock secrets to peace and wisdom? Prepare for some serious dopamine as we explore the incredible life of Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha. This information is invaluable, offering timeless insights that have shaped countless lives across millennia. Let's start this amazing adventure right now. Today, we're going to talk about a very special person, Siddhartha Gautama. He is also known as Sakyamuni Buddha. This name means sage of the Shakya clan. He was a prince who lived a long time ago. His teachings became what we now call Buddhism. Let's begin with his birth and early life. It's like reading a fascinating history book, but even better because it's about real wisdom. The exact dates of his birth and death are not perfectly clear to historians. However, many believe he was born around 563 BC and passed away around 483 BC. Some Buddhist traditions calculate his birth earlier, around 624 BC, and his passing around 544 BC. What's interesting is that the Buddhist calendar usually starts from the year he attained Parinirvana, his final passing. Siddhartha Gautama was born a prince in a place called Kapilavastu. This area is now part of Nepal, near the Himalayas. His father was King Suddhodana, and his mother was Queen Maya. Sadly, his mother passed away just 7 days after he was born. So his aunt Mahapajapati raised him. From the moment he was born, it was clear he was special. Stories say that he took 7 steps in each of the 4 directions right after birth. With each step, a lotus flower bloomed. He then pointed one hand to the sky and the other to the earth and declared, "In heaven above, and on earth below, I alone am the world-honored one. All in the 3 realms suffer, and I shall bring them peace." This shows his unique destiny and his deep compassion for all beings, even as a newborn. As a young prince, Siddhartha lived a very luxurious life inside the palace walls. His father, the king, tried to shield him from all suffering. He wanted Siddhartha to become a great king, not a spiritual leader. So Siddhartha had everything he could ever want: beautiful palaces, delicious food, servants, and entertainment. He was trained in various princely arts, including archery and swordsmanship. He married Princess Yasodhara, and they had a son named Rahula. Everything seemed perfect, but deep down, Siddhartha felt something was missing. He often wondered about the true meaning of life and the suffering he heard about outside the palace. Now, let's talk about his great renunciation and his search for truth. This part of his story is truly inspiring and shows his immense courage. One day, Siddhartha ventured outside the palace. On these trips, he saw 4 sights that changed his life forever. First, he saw an old man, frail and weak. Then, a sick person, suffering from illness. After that, a dead body, showing the end of life. These sights made him realize that old age, sickness, and death are inevitable parts of human existence. These experiences deeply troubled him. Finally, he saw an ascetic, a holy man who had given up worldly pleasures in search of truth. This man looked peaceful and serene despite having very little. This encounter sparked a deep desire in Siddhartha to find a way to end suffering. At the age of 29, Siddhartha made a monumental decision. He decided to leave his comfortable life as a prince, his wife and his young son, to seek the truth. This act is known as the Great Renunciation. It was a huge sacrifice, but he felt it was necessary to find the answers to life's big questions. He left the palace in secret one night, cut off his long hair, and exchanged his royal clothes for simple robes. He became a wandering ascetic, trying to find a way to end suffering for himself and for all beings. For several years, Siddhartha practiced severe asceticism. He tried different spiritual paths and endured extreme hardships. He fasted for long periods, eating very little, and meditated in harsh conditions. He studied with 2 prominent teachers, mastering various states of meditative absorption. However, he realized that these intense practices did not lead to permanent liberation from suffering. They were temporary and did not address the deeper dissatisfactions he sought to overcome. He realized that neither extreme indulgence nor extreme self-denial was the answer. He understood the importance of the middle way. This means finding a balance, not going to extremes. The turning point in his journey happened in a place called Bodh Gaya. Under a Bodhi tree, Siddhartha sat in deep meditation. He vowed not to rise until he had achieved full enlightenment. For many days and nights, He meditated profoundly, facing inner demons and doubts. At the age of 35, he finally attained complete enlightenment. He became the Buddha, which means the awakened one. He understood the nature of suffering, its cause, its cessation, and the path to end it. These understandings are known as the Four Noble Truths. He also realized the Eightfold Path, the practical guide to achieving this liberation. This moment was a profound transformation. He was no longer just Siddhartha Gautama, the prince. He was the Buddha, a source of immense wisdom and compassion. Next, let's talk about his Taishing and his final passing. This is where his wisdom truly spread throughout the world. After his enlightenment, the Buddha spent the next 45 years Taishing his insights to others. His first sermon was delivered in Sarnath to 5 ascetics who had previously been his companions. In this sermon, he taught about the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. This event is often called the turning of the wheel of Dharma. The Buddha traveled throughout India, sharing his teachings with people from all walks of life. Kings, merchants, farmers, and even outcasts. He taught in a simple and clear way, using parables and stories that everyone could understand. He established the community of monks and nuns who followed his teachings and helped spread them. His teachings focused on practical ways to reduce suffering and live a meaningful life. He emphasized mindfulness, compassion, and understanding. He taught that suffering arises from attachment and craving, and that by letting go of these, one can find lasting peace. At the age of 80, the Buddha knew his time was coming to an end. He chose the tomb of Kushinagar as the place for his final passing, known as Parinirvana. He didn't choose a royal palace, but a serene grove of sal trees to show that even a Buddha is not exempt from the natural cycle of life and death. He wanted to convey that life is like a drawing on water, impermanent and ever-changing. His last words were, "All composite things decay. Strive diligently." This powerful message reminds us that everything that is put together will eventually fall apart, and we should always put effort into our spiritual practice. After his passing, his followers gathered his relics and built stupas, dome-shaped structures, to house them. These stupas became important pilgrimage sites. Now, let's quickly review the important places in the Buddha's life. These places are very sacred to Buddhists all over the world. Lumbini, this is the birthplace of Siddhartha Gautama. It's a peaceful garden where Queen Maya gave birth to him. Bodh Gaya, this is the place where Siddhartha Gautama attained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree and became the Buddha. Sarnath, this is where the Buddha gave his very first sermon after his enlightenment, taking the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. Kushinagar, this is the place where the Buddha passed into Parinirvana, his final resting place. It's important to remember that Buddhist scriptures primarily focus on the Buddha's teachings, rather than a detailed chronological biography. However, his life story is often depicted in art, such as the 8 Great Scenes Palsang Do, which illustrates the key moments of his life in 8 panels. So we've journeyed through the extraordinary life of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. His story is not just ancient history. It's a living inspiration, guiding millions to find peace and wisdom within themselves. His teachings on compassion, mindfulness, and the middle way are as relevant today as they were over 2 millennia ago. By understanding his journey from a sheltered prince to an awakened one, we gain valuable perspectives on our own paths to happiness and freedom from suffering. Remember, the journey to enlightenment isn't just for monks and nuns. It's a path accessible to anyone willing to look within, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving for that inner peace. The wisdom of the Buddha is a gift that keeps on giving. Don't stop here. Let this knowledge inspire your own journey of self-discovery. Thank you for joining me on this incredible exploration.